I'm so excited. The Hangout's live. We are live.
We are
You want to
live.
see if you guys can see us on here? Can they see us?
Yeah.
Carol?
I think they can.
It still says loading.
Uh-oh. Well, people over here, I saw hearts.
All right, so we're live here in our Hangout.
It's on now.
We're on the $1 Million Hangout. I'm with Carol and Lynn, and we're toasting. Okay?
We're going to do our $1 Million Mission Toast.
We're doing our toast. I don't know if you see them. Sorry, guys, if I'm not so good at this.
It's all an experiment.
Come join us over at milliondollarmission.info. Thank you for playing with us, because we're just new at this Periscope, and we're live over here. So I can't multitask. Thank you for all the hearts. Oh, I'm so happy. We're going to end this. We'll see you guys. Bye. We'll be better next time. All right.
All right. So Periscope is live on Google Hangouts. Ooh, the fight between Twitter and Google.
Oh, that's why there was an echo.
Yep.
Sorry, Deb.
All right.
Oh,
So let's start the mission, the $1 Million Mission Hangout here with Ellie, Carol, and Lynn, and we're going to keep something you know, kind of behind the scenes, and one of them has to do with a couch. So you want to stay tuned on why did Lynn Brown share a couch for this, you know, for this hangout. And so, you know, stay with us on this. But it does have to do with storytelling. It is, you know, something to do with your business success, because you know, that's what we want to share. This is our $1 Million Mission here, is to share things with you so you can increase, you know, your success level in whatever business you're doing. Or if you decide to get on board with Ellie, Carol, or I, then, you know, so be it, and we can build a powerful team and greater success in our lives. And, you know, like yesterday, my husband and I decided to go to the beach. You know, we thought, you know, it's so flippin' hot here. And he got, you know, he stopped work early. And so we took off to the beach. We went to Avila Beach. It was beautiful, beautiful, you know, blue skies, the ocean, and all that kind of thing. So wouldn't be able to do that without having a laptop lifestyle, you know, way to earn an income and be able to work from home. The key is, though, what I found out just 6 months ago, and I knew about this, but for some reason I kept putting it off in my brain, thinking, yeah, right, tell your story, tell your story. And I never really understood what that really meant until I went through this training. I think it cost about $300, but who cares? You know, when you can invest in real education that's going to give you, you know, real life skills, you know, for your home-based business and for your success in this industry, you go for it. Okay, and so it was a powerful training, and I learned so much about myself and what I can share with other people to make those connections. So we're going to talk about storytelling and how that has helped each one of us and how it can help you, and we're just going to, you know, go back and forth and start sharing about that tonight. So we're going to take it away, Carol or Ellie.
I can pick it up. Okay, yeah, it's funny you say that, Lynn, about learning about yourself. A couple of months ago, Ellie and I went to a workshop on storytelling, and from one day to the next, when people started working on their story overnight after the first workshop and the outline we could follow and what have you, my God, it was just one breakthrough after another around the room, not only about the business, but about ourselves. Fantastic. It was some personal development type experience. It was really great. But to talk about storytelling, I'm going to go back just briefly to the time when people started developing language. So we're going back, long, long time, ancient civilization. And when they started talking, during the daytime, they would talk about their hunting experiences, their economic experiences, their danger experiences, whatever. And at night, they would light fires and sit around the fire and talk about other things. They would suggest things like hero stories. For example, if somebody had a crazy wild animal chasing them that day, they would develop in their story this hero who somehow overcame the animal that was chasing them. And they would also tell stories. Well, in the telling of the stories, they developed over the fire. There was something like almost hypnotic about it. They would develop this. They got on the same wavelength altogether, and they found out by the storytelling that that there was some camaraderie, some connection that developed, and they looked forward to that every night. So then we move along to Bible times, and clearly the Bible tells us stories through the parables, story after story. For example, there's the story of the loaves and the fishes and how the Lord multiplied the loaves and the fishes to feed the multitude who followed him in his teaching so that they could all be fed. So there was a lesson of belief. The people saw that they were going to get fed and that there was no fear of starvation. And later on, when the Lord told about different stories about healing people, you know, Lazarus, get up, take up thy pallet and walk. And then he would tell the people, but don't tell anybody about this, because he thought maybe non-believers, the naysayers that we talk about staying away from, would throw cold water on his works. So that was another lesson that he taught through stories. Excuse me. And then over the years, much more recently, when I was a kid, I remember hearing advertisements on TV. And they didn't just talk about the product and say, oh, we have this great new shampoo, it's got these chemicals in it, and it's going to blah, blah, blah. No, they would say something like, use new White Rain shampoo tonight, because tomorrow your hair will be sunshine bright. So through that little jingle, there's a little story, almost a little brief story that would catch people's attention. And how about Juan Valdez with the Colombian coffee, and they showed the guy with the donkey walking down the mountainside with the coffee beans and all that. What a story they had about Juan, and the town celebrated and what have you. And it caught the people. It really caught the people. And again, the stories tend to put people on that same wavelength that I spoke about just a minute ago, that the people enjoyed around the fire. So it's kind of mesmerizing and, as I said, hypnotizing. Now, we all know about that phrase that they say, people buy from us, from people, not things. They buy people, not things. So in order to buy from us, they need to know, like, and trust us. And what better way to get to know us, to like us, and to trust us, if they're going to, than through stories. So, that said, the little foundation set there, I'm going to pass it along to whoever else.
Am I whoever else?
You can be whoever else.
My name is whoever else. You know, it is so true, okay, that stories sell. And I don't even like to say it that way, but that's the truth, because people connect with stories. So maybe if you're buying toilet paper, you don't need to hear a story. And I guess when they first came up with toilet paper, if anybody has seen that patent, by the way, the toilet paper is supposed to go on the outside. That's the way the patent is. Anyway, that's the truth. That is the way the patent is, all right? But I know there's always a controversy of that, under or over. I guess when they had to sell toilet paper, they had to tell a story too, all right? So story meaning your story. So sometimes when I used to hear that, I used to think, oh, you want me to make up crap to sell somebody something? And if you're taking it that way, that's not the way I know any of us are talking about it. You know, instead of going out there trying to put whatever it is you're doing out there, just blatantly sticking stuff in people's faces, if you come from your story, or maybe a story of a client of yours or somebody you know, all right, you can tell other people's stories of why this product or this network marketing business or this service that you offer, why that changed their lives, how it did, and the story behind it, not this blah, blah, blah. You know, if you give the story, because here's the biggest, and think of it, when you watch these commercials, I mean, like when, you know, Coke, is it Coke? I don't even see it. Oh, no, Budweiser with the Clydesdale horses and all right, it was nothing about beer. People cry. Some of these commercials I cry at. They're like Hallmark commercials. Could put me out on the floor, all right? They could just put you out. It was for Hallmark, but it was a story in there. The little boy waiting for his brother to come home who was on the services or what have you, you know, and then they sneak in coffee. They did that one on Folgers. It's like amazing, all right? There's a story behind it because it reaches us. So people think, oh, I got to give the benefit, I give the benefit, I got to give the benefit. And if you give the story behind the benefit is when people connect with you, because it really, really is true, all right? Most people, you can buy toilet paper anywhere, and you can buy most product anywhere. There's more than one distributor, one person marketing that product. So why do you pick that person? What is with that person? And there's a connection. So if you're able to tell stories, your own stories, or stories about people that you work with, you connect with people. I think one of the biggest things in here is don't start with the incident, because we probably don't have very similar incidents, okay? But we have very similar feelings. So if you start with the feeling, you know, in other words, like I could tell a story of when I was a wood carver, and yes, I was a wood carver. I would get like embarrassed if people said, "Who's the artist?" I was the artist, okay, but it would screw me up, and there's a whole big story behind that. But if I talk about being embarrassed and feeling uncomfortable first, you connect with me already, because you have been embarrassed or uncomfortable in your life. And then I tell you what happened. Versus if I say, well, when I was carving, and then the people said to me, and then I felt embarrassed. Or, I've already cut you out, because you're like, carving? I don't freaking carve. You see? So I don't. And there is already, even if the person is still listening to you, there's already a disconnect. But if you start with the emotion, right? I was like feeling really uncomfortable, and I was to the point that I was embarrassed. And I was embarrassed because they were asking who was the artist, and it was me, yet, you know, I had some self-esteem issues going on. So there's a whole big difference there than I was carving and the person said. So that's a really important aspect, is come from the feeling, because we've all experienced that array of feelings, right? Of even why you're on this journey you're on, why you are promoting this product you're promoting, why you're in this business you're in, why you have to sell the service you sell. Come from the feelings of that, and we all have a story. You know, somebody said to me the other day, oh, you know, I'll help you with, you know, I'm sure you have some stories. Are you kidding me? Do you know how old I am? The older you get, the more stories you get. So that's really important. I know for me, when I read a story or hear a story, there's that has emotion in it that you just like become in it. This is why we love movies. Okay, we end up in that scenario because you're connecting with those feelings that are going on. That's really what's happening there. Then I'm staying there. Where if somebody's just blatantly giving me I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. It's too many people are doing that too. Too many people are doing that. So that's my tip about stories. I don't know if you just want to keep, me, I could talk the whole damn show. I have to be quiet.
Well, I'm going to say that, I appreciate you bringing that up, Ellie, about feelings and emotions, because, that is so true. That's how we connect with each other. And that's how you build your audience, because your feelings, your emotions, that is what, attracts the type of people that will want to work with you, buy from you, or, hire you, or whatever. So it is important about those feelings and emotions. And I'd like to say that you have to add your story into every little thing that you do, but you don't have to tell your whole story every single time. So when you're doing a blog post, just maybe interject something like, I remember back when, or I had to take my child to daycare every day, or however it's relatable to people, because then a little bit of your story, like Ellie says right at the beginning, will prepare your audience. And those that really, they're really not that into what you do, that's fine. That's how you want to handle your business and your success. That was one mistake I was doing a lot. And I was trying to market to everyone, because my thought, and everyone gets in this industry, and I've heard them say the same thing, well, everybody wants to make money online, right? And probably everybody would if they knew how and all that kind of thing. But the point is, and we get this in our leadership level type coaching and mentoring in our community, is that if you market to everyone, you market to no one. So if you break it down, like me, I have a corporate background. I'm an ex-corporate, and I say robot mom. Okay, so right there, that tells people the segment of people that I have hung out with in my prior, career. So right there, there's people that can connect with me. And then I mentioned about, my industry that I was in, which was the real estate lending industry. Bam, that's another part of my story that just starts connecting people with me, and I connect them with them, because then there's some more, I don't know how to describe it, but there's this bigger connection where now you're building something, you're building that rapport. That's what it is. You're building that rapport that is going to build a customer for life. I think there's too many people in this industry that want to get in and they want to make this quick money, and then they want to get out. And the thing of it is no, you want to build a business for longevity. You want to build a business like ours that provides residual income on an ongoing basis. But if you have this attitude that I just want the sale today, see you, bye, okay, then what are you in business for, really? I mean, you might as well just get a hot dog stand or something and sell hot dogs every now and then. And because this type of industry is definitely relationship building. And the more I learn about team building and all that kind of thing in this industry, it really is about the story. So if you get back to your story, then putting little parts of it in there will help. And then Carol mentioned, people look forward to the stories. That's the other thing. When you start connecting with people, like if you put little things in your emails or in your videos or whatever it is, or posts that you put on social media, if you just interject a little bit about yourself, people are looking forward to seeing, okay, what is she going to share next? What is he going to tell us next? And so people connect that way too, and they may not buy from you for a while. They may follow you, and so if you're consistent and you're a real person that's telling your real story, you know, you're not trying to copy and paste something. That is not what, you know, business is all about, and especially if you want something that's going to last you a lifetime and actually build a wealth nest for you. You know, that's what I believe, that's what this is all about. Storytelling can interject the power of success in your business. So that's my feedback, you know, on your take on Carol and Ellie.
Well, just to pick up on that for a moment here, let me see, I just lost my trend for a moment. It'll come back here. Okay. As far as the company is concerned, or anyone's company, and the emotional connection, I know when I first, and I have heard this story told time and time and time again, that when you go to an event, a live event, if your company has one, be sure to go, because there's nothing like the connections that you make there. And on stage, I used to wonder, why do they keep saying so-and-so is going to come on and tell his story, so-and-so is going to come on and tell her story. And after about 2 or 3 stories, I found myself so hooked into these people and understanding, talk about identification, understanding that these folks are really no different than I am, and dang, if they can do it, I can do it. And I'm a social worker anyway, so I love to hear people's stories, their backgrounds. It just feeds right into me. But also picking up on the word identification, as Lynn just said, when you have the particular market that you're going to speak to, be it real estate, be it ex-corporate mom, be it frustrated internet marketer, whatever it might be. Once you start telling the stories, first of all, you're going to direct your stories toward the people that you're talking to. So you're going to be identifying with them, and they're going to flip it right around and identify with you. So there's that mutual identification, which solidifies the rapport and the relationship that's being built. I also wanted to say that one thing to be careful of in telling stories, certainly most everybody does talk about their quote-unquote struggles and how they overcame them, and that's certainly interesting. It's like in the old days there, the ancient times, when they used to talk about the hero who overcame the I don't know, dragon or whatever was coming after them. But you don't want to talk about being in the middle of a problem right now that's bugging you, because it just sounds like dumping stuff. So, but great to talk about it once you've come through it, and people can identify with that also and say, oh my God, again, if they can do it, I can do it. So it's kind of a double whammy. They're connecting with you emotionally about your story and how you came through it, and then they can connect with you about your business, your product, your service, your whatever it is that you're marketing. And that's about what I have for right now.
Oh my God, my brain, there's so many things I want to talk about. Just that aspect right there, you know, this stuff about talking about the yuck. And like you said, like Carol just said, if you might not have totally overcome it yet, okay? But if you're in the process of it and you're in that working mode of it, then it's really, really cool to be vulnerable and say, you want to know what? I ain't freaking perfect. You know, and I talk to people like that all the time. I'm going through this, and this is really annoying me, you know, and here's what I'm learning how to change. So there's a connection. That's what stories are about. It's about being, I don't even like the word vulnerable, because, you know, to me it's not being vulnerable. It's like just being real. People use the word vulnerable, and I think it's about, I'm just going to be real. Okay? I'm not afraid of anybody like that. So, you know, here I am. And maybe years ago, before I started down a personal journey, see, we're going to go all back to mindset because everything is mindset, all right? You know, before I got on a personal journey, personal development journey, I did. I got like, oh, don't know this about me, don't know that about me, don't know this about me. And that was just all that walls of fear. And that fear was just huge self-doubt and low self-esteem. That's what that was. So, and I can tell lots of stories about that. You know, and when I built my coaching business, I did it not always telling my story, but coming from my voice. So I think that's telling a story also, coming from your voice, coming from my experience. So that's my story, right? I'm writing about this topic, and I'm coming from my experience. So it is my story in essence, talking about the feelings, talking about, and I had huge connection with people. As a matter of fact, I would write posts and then I would think, oh, crap, I hope they know what the freak I'm talking about. You know? And then I'd get emails and comments that was like, oh, my God, I'm so glad you said it that way. Nobody ever explained it like that before. Which, you know what? The people that need to meet with you meet with you. See, I really believe that. It's true. Okay, not everybody wants what you have, like we all think, like Lynn said, when we get in. It's like, everybody wants this in life. No, baby, everybody don't. And probably an 18-year-old is not listening to me. Okay, I'm probably not the right person for him for this business unless he's very wise, because we probably are the right person. But no, I don't know their lingo. Okay, I don't, because I'm a few years older than them. And Carol too. So probably not. So it really is niching down to, these are the people that I know I'll resonate with. Okay, let me talk to them. And if I talk from me, I am talking to them, and I put my information out that way, they're going to connect with me. You know, and then talking about that negative, I have to live today. I meant to post this on Facebook. The last 2 or 3 days, every now and then, not often, every now and then, I see somebody go, there's so much negative stuff on Facebook. And I'm like, really? I haven't seen that negative. And then I realized, and I'm going to tell you all this little secret too. If you're seeing negative stuff in your news feed, it means you are liking those people's posts, the ones that are spewing their negative drama out. Because the more you like somebody's post, or you're commenting in there, and you might be doing a little spewing with them, because we go roll down the ball with them, right? And that's why you're seeing them. And I don't. It's rare. To me, that's like, ooh, why am I even seeing that? I didn't see once or twice. Okay, I saw some ridiculous thing, and when I see something, there is a little arrow on the right-hand corner that you can push that little arrow and say, I don't want to see this anymore. I'm not even unfriending the person, okay? There has been 1 or 2, I guess, through the time that I was like, this person's just too off, I want to say off the wall. See, I'm being judgmental, but they're not for me, okay? They're not for me. Their posts are not for me. And so I will stop following them or what have you. But if you get stuff on there, and if you're liking these people's stuff, or if you've got a lot of negative friends, you might want to look at that. You might want to change your community a little bit, because I'm not seeing a bunch of negative stuff. You know, and absolutely Facebook is not the place to put your drama. You know, and the only time we've ever put drama is when we already had the solution, okay, to the drama. And then we said, here's the story, even with my lip bleeding yesterday. But whatever. That wasn't drama. All right, I'll stop now.
Got to find the microphone. Sorry about that. That was good, Ellie. I like that. Because, you know, it's so true. People get caught up in the drama zone. And, yeah, you know, just stay away from that. I wanted to get back to the couch. Storytelling and the couch. Because I can relate to this, and hopefully what I share is going to be helpful to people. And it wasn't even anybody's suggestion. This was something I started to do on my own. So I'm going to reveal something to you about the couch. And the couch can be a place where people sleep. A couch can be where people, you know, veg, which they usually do, most people, 9 to 5, and they come home, and what do? Eat dinner, sit on the couch, and veg, right? Well, I turned my couch around, and because when I got into this storytelling, I felt kind of weird. I felt like, I don't know if my story's interesting enough. I don't even really know what my story is, okay? So everyone starts from there. Just like everybody starts from zero when they're starting their business, and a lot of people forget that. You're starting, you know, you have to build this story. You have to understand what your story is and how are you going to share it. So what you do is you go to your couch and you stand in front of your couch. Now, I can't, this thing is, I'd have to go all the way back, but you stand in front of your couch and you pretend that there's like 10 people in front, new people that you've never met, and they're all looking at you. And you're going to go, hi, I'm Lynn Brown. You know, and you go from there. And I mean literally, that's what you do. Because if you turn that couch around to be your audience, instead of just trying to make up, you know, okay, I'm going to pretend there's an audience. And I mean, if you really stand in front of your couch, and you know, fortunately for me, my husband, when he's off to work, and now we're empty nesters, so I've got a very quiet house. My dog sleeps all the time. So yeah, I talk to my couch. All right, and I will even do this for my videos. I will start saying things like, even for, you know, team members, if I want to talk to a team member, and what I do is I work out any kind of negativity if there's anything that comes up, because I want everything to be in a positive, and I want to reflect on things that are relatable, that are specific just to me. So you can write those things down, or you can, you know, whatever you want to do, however you want to do that. And maybe 5 or 6 things, you write them down, get in front of your couch and pretend that there's 5 or 6 or 10 people right there in front of you, and you stand in front of the couch, because that's really important to do that, because it's like you're standing on your own 2 feet and you are going to tell your story, okay? So I want you to do that exercise. Just try it. Just try it out. And you're going to find that you're going to stumble and bumble, and you're going to think, gosh, does this even sound right? Well, you can record yourself, right? You can video yourself. You can do all that kind of thing if you want to. And then maybe get some friends or family to listen to you. And if you can take the, you know, critique, because they may not know what, you know, a good story might be, and all that kind of thing. But at least what this does, it puts you out there to get started. Because far too many people, they get started in this industry and they won't do anything. They will not do anything. And a lot of times I think if you push yourself out of that comfort zone, literally off the couch, and you're standing in front of the couch thinking that that's my audience, those are the people that love me, those are the people that are going to want to work with me, they're my team, my future team. When you think about that way and then relate it to your story, go back and relate it to your story, and then talk out loud. You know, talk out loud and see how it comes out of you, because the more you can say, you know, verbally, then you can turn that around and do it in your written or in your videos or in your postings on social media. But anyway, that's the couch, you know, tip of the night. Turn that couch around and make it your audience, the people that are going to relate to you. That's what I got for you.
That's pretty good, Lynn. I think you have your own, what do they call it, the Toastmasters? I think you have your own private Toastmasters going there. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. You know, one of the other things that came to me as we're talking here is, and that's taught in some of the storytelling workshops, that it adds to congruency. And we're all taught in this business to be authentic and be congruent. And I'm sorry, something just distracted me for a moment there. When you start, well, first let me back up for a minute, because the storytelling can take place in, I mean, most any medium that you can think of. You can do it on the blog, you can do it on videos, you can do it on Periscope, you can do it in Facebook, you can do it, whatever you happen to be connected with. So the platforms are there. But once you get your storytelling, and then you're going to move somebody along through the funnel, you can very easily take little snippets from the story and put it in your bridge video, even in your sales page or whatever, and it keeps things so congruent that people follow. And again, it builds the trust when you have that congruency. So, you're not talking about yourself and then you end up talking about chemicals in your drink product or lack of chemicals in your drink product. You just keep that fluidity going, and it builds the trust. And that's it for me for right this moment.
So, it's right. So it's not about just writing your damn story every day, okay? So, but it's coming from your voice, and I love, Lynn's couch thing. I love that. Get up off the couch and then face the couch, because I do think you should sit down and write your story, everybody. I really do, because if you continue to do it, and if you're doing personal development work, okay, if you're in a community like we have, and you have a team, because some people will get overwhelmed with their story, but you have a team to people in mindset brainstorm with, okay, and bounce that off of. Those are people that are uplifting you. So probably a lot of people don't want to write their story because they're still in yuck, and and those are the people that are getting that negative news feed, okay? That's why they're not getting a positive news feed, and that's why. But when you have that behind you, you can write that story and find out, oh, I know a lot more than I give myself credit. All right? I know a lot more than I give myself credit for. We give credit to everybody else, and that's great. I love that. All right? But we also have to give credit to ourselves. And you have to get good at accepting. I'm not always good at accepting compliments. I'm really not. I'm really good at putting them out there. I'm not so good at it, so I have to get better at that. I understand that. And see, just doing that, I'm being real. That's a part of my story. See, it's not about like, oh, now I have to come up with this whole big thing no. It's like, and you're sending out an email, and and you're saying, let me tell you what happened to me. Because you tell them something that happened to you about this product, or about this point in your journey, or about this, when you got to this point and you were like not sure whether you should go on or stay with the business or not, and then you came to this. That's you tell the emails from your story. That's congruency, because congruency, as far as I'm concerned, okay, is about being real. Again, so is it really about your story? It's about being real, and it's about putting out pieces of yourself. And so actually every day, I'm sure we all have a story. Something went on. Maybe a story we're talking about, oh, I was uncomfortable, or a story about, oh my God, I was jubilant today. And let me tell you why. Because I see, okay, how my future brighter and brighter, and I'm living a life I love, and I'm seeing dreams come true already, and I'm seeing that more dreams will come true again today. That's congruency. That's a part of your story. And people want to know, well, and some people feel like that, and they get that. And some people are like, damn, I want to feel like that. What the hell is she doing? You see, so you have a conversation going on. I've never had a problem talking out loud. I drive Carol crazy because I walk through the house talking, and she keeps saying, are you talking to me? I go, I'm not. She goes, what did you say? I go, I'm not talking to you. She says, who are you talking to? I said, myself. Maybe the dog, whatever, but I just talk. I talk all the time. I don't talk in my sleep, though. So I used to talk in my sleep. She's written down some things that I've said. Oh my God, that's a story. We'll write a blog post about it. But
I bet you do talk in your sleep. You know, what I wanted to go back to, somebody mentioned, I don't know if it was Carol or Ellie, about, you know, when we go to our events and we hear these stories, and especially the founder, you know, David Wood, he will say pretty much the same story over and over again, and he's been saying the same story over and over again, or stories. You know, he'll interject different things and things like that, but for the last, 4 years or whatever, you know, Empower's been around. But I got to step back, and I remember my husband after the second event and listening to Dave Wood, and he's like, oh my gosh, if I hear that story one more time. But here's the thing that I took away from that, and that is you can't get enough of listening, learning, and growing from successful people. Because I still, when I hear that same story, there's different things that I take away as I'm developing my success journey, right? And you will too. I mean, because we're growing. We're growing. And so I want to say that don't turn people off, especially leadership or your mentors or, you know, other successful people, if you think, oh, it's that same story. Well, no, it might be something different that you're going to pick up because you're at a different level in your success and your, you know, building your business and in your journey. So don't just disregard events because, oh, it's the same, you know, the same stories. Well, if they are, then that means you're not growing. You're not taking away different things from each of these stories each time that you hear them. Because to become a master at anything, what is it, 10,000 hours or whatever it is, right? So, you know, if you think you know it all, well, then why aren't you a seven-figure earner? Then, you know, you wouldn't even be on this hangout probably. But we don't know it all. I mean, nobody knows it all. And if someone thinks that they know it all, it's just that they have a higher level of confidence, self-belief and confidence, and that's okay. But trust me, they don't know it all. And you know, you want to just take away some parts of those stories, each part that you know you can relate to, and incorporate it into your own, you know, business and where you're at on your journey. So, you know, that's what I wanted to interject there.
Well, it's funny you say that, Lynn, because every time somebody tells a story in our company, yeah, I say to myself, oh, yeah, I've heard that story. But every time they tell it, there's a new little wrinkle that comes out, and it explains to me more of the person and how they have operated in order to reach the level of success that they have. So it's helpful. And also, somebody can be a student, you know, and we're all students in this business, yes. So anybody who's a student of something, when they go and they can hear a story 49 times, 75 times, 87 times, and that 88th time, it's the same damn story, but the way that particular person told it, they said, oh my God, I never heard that before. And so, yeah, I love it when they just keep telling these stories on stage. And I just wanted to address the idea, I think it was Ellie who mentioned something about your voice, putting your voice out there. I have found personally through the blogging that I've gotten a little more courageous and braver as time goes on, and I put out more of my own opinions. And when you give an opinion, you tell a little bit about yourself, why you arrived at that opinion. And sometimes when I stretch out a little bit beyond my comfort zone, I say, I don't know if I should have done that or not. I don't know if I'm going to turn people off. But almost every time, that's when I get the best comments back. People they say, oh, I'm so glad you said that, you know, blah, 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 whatever it happens to be. And it makes me feel good that I was able to connect with people, and also that you know, people get things out of it. So don't be afraid to speak your voice.
I'm not. I should say I am, right? I guess I'm not anymore. There was a time I was. People don't believe that. I tell people I'm shy. They go, you are a liar, okay? But I really have found out I'm an introvert. I know you still don't believe it, but it's true. What they call that other thing? There's an ambivert or whatever the hell it is, all right? I have a huge amount of introvert qualities, which is why we live in the boonies, in the middle of nowhere, all right? Because I really, really cherish my space. And then I wander out when I'm ready to let people in my space, and I do this because, like, I can, like, you know, like I'm letting you in my space at that point. But so I didn't always put my own voice out. I think you first have to get in touch with your own voice and find out what the hell it is. So I keep going back to mindset. We start this whole series, this whole hangout, you know, talking about mindset. Not today, I just mean the whole thing. And it's all mindset. It's all mindset.
And just talk to the couch.
And talk to the couch. And I called. When she was telling you that, I was calling 911. They're on their way to get her. So it's okay. All of a sudden, they're going to come in and pick her up off the couch, okay? But it's just about find your voice. Stop. I see so many new people now, specifically within our industry, okay? And they are copying what somebody who's above them is doing, who is making more money than them, or they think they're making more money than them. And they're copying what they're doing. Now, that's cool if you're working with somebody and they're teaching you, okay? But if you're just going to run around and be a Lynn Brown or a Carol Makowski or a Lawrence Tam or a Dave Wood, or you're going to try to be you ain't them, okay? You ain't them. And it's not going to come off like you're them. You've got to learn the business. And you know what? I'm on all of their email lists because I do watch and read how they talk, okay? But I'm just looking to see what they're doing. But I always have to put it in my voice. I'm going to put out that similar message about what's going on, you know. I have to put it in my voice. I just have to do that. So stop trying to be somebody else. You know, take it in and find your own voice. And the more you let yourself out, like Carol was talking about, you know, and that was the biggest thing for me, is the more years ago I was real, the more comments I got back. The more people were like, oh my God, that's how I built a business, all right, because they resonated with me. And so they wanted to work with me. So the people, if you're trying to be somebody else, and now the person wants to work with you, and then they find out you ain't that person, they're not hanging with you, because they're going to find out, because you can't be that other person all the time, because you're you. So then they find out you were just messing with me. You were a phony. You need to be real. You go, oh, I don't know a lot. I don't know. That's okay. That's okay. You can say that. You can actually write a blog post about that. I'm brand new. I don't know a lot. I'm learning how to do this, and I'm building my skills and my self-esteem on a daily basis. Oh, my God. The people will come and flock at your door because they get it. So it really is all about just being real and finding your own voice within the business that you're in. Finding your own voice. That's so important. And come and play Periscope with us.
You know, I wanted to mention about your copy and paste people. I think that's like, it seems to be like a norm in this industry. And I see it as a good beginning point, but what I always say is don't copy and paste, but model, you know, take the verbiage and turn it around to your own, because I remember the first set of autoresponders I got, and it said something about, yeah, me and my daughter went out to, I don't even have a daughter, you know, or they went out to the mountains. No, we're near a beach, we're near an ocean. You know what I mean? So what you can do is you can take leaders or other mentors of yours, take the verbiage, but turn it around into your, like Carol and Ellie say, into your voice. So it makes sense, because when they meet you and they say, "Oh, how's your daughter doing?" You go, "What? I don't have a daughter." you know, Do you know what I'm talking about? I remember and then there was one email, and I think it was David Wood's brother wrote it, about farting. And oh yeah, my son would love that, my 22-year-old son, but not me and not my audience. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, do I have to send this email out? So, when you're first starting, just take, if you want to twist that around, you can. If you're that type of person and you love to, tell jokes or whatever, fine. Or if you don't want to say fart, maybe you say something, toot or something like that, whatever you want to do. Or you don't have to send the damn email. Use your common sense that if your company gives you certain copy and paste things, and it just doesn't, read it first, and if it doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound like your voice or any part of your story, then interject, pull some things out, rearrange paragraphs, rearrange the verbiage, and voila, now you've got your own custom voice in an autoresponder that will relate to your audience.
That's funny. That's funny. Jeez. I got to go back to, I think it was Ellie who said...
I said the F word on live here.
Right. We were talking about your voice again and personal development, and as I said, I'm the one who said it. I said before about when you write your story, I think Ellie did too, about how you learn so much more about yourself. You said it actually, Lynn. And also, when you're speaking your voice, the more you speak your voice about your opinions, about your thoughts, about your, whatever it is you want to say, whatever you want to get out there. Again, it's so much involved in personal development, because you grow, you just grow, you expand, and it's such a good feeling. And I never expected this stuff coming out of business. I didn't think that all this personal development, personal growth, expansion, moving out of your comfort zone would come from business. As a matter of fact, originally I kind of thought that you were boxed in with this, but whoa, how wrong I was, and I'm glad.
Oh, well, we're doing good here. I think we're going to start to wind down. I'm looking at all of that, and it really is. If you're sitting here and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to talk to people or divulge anything about myself, well, I would say you probably have a negative news feed and you want to go through personal development no matter what you do, okay? And this might not be for you then, because that's where connections are made, and that's when you have, in essence, what people today will call a tribe, but it's a loyal following, and they're still not all going to buy from you. They're still not all going to buy from you, because that product maybe is not what they need or want. Okay, but they still actually will stay on your list because they like what you say and they resonate with you. And that's okay, because if you reach out and you just keep, because you build your voice even stronger when you realize, when you get those emails that say, oh, thank you so much for saying that, or I really resonated with that. When you get those emails, then you know, oh, I know why I'm here. Then you know why you're here. And when you come strong in that, you just keep reaching those people more and more and more. So being real is so, so important. To me, it's what it's all about. The people that are running around just throwing links here and there, the spammers, that's who they are, okay? They're nowhere near being real. They're just playing that crazy cut and paste, copy and paste game, and that's not a business. It's not. It's just so. Just be real. That's it. I'm done.
All right. Well, I think we're winding down here on another awesome $1 million mission here, hangout, and I'm hoping that people, if they're live with us or if they're on the replay, that you took away some value. You took away some tips. You took away some things that can help you discover your story and start incorporating storytelling into your business, because that is where the power of you is going to shine. So with that, we will be back next week, I believe, and it'll be the 4th of July week, so woohoo! But at any rate, we will give a toast, right?
Carol, unmute yourself so we see you.
And cheers to all of you out there on your $1 million mission.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Na zdrowie.
We'll see you next week. Oh, let me try.
Bye-bye.